Singapore SFRS I1, first-time adoption, the complete, in-depth, audit-ready interview masterclass. Hello and welcome to CandiMentor. Today we take an audit-focused, regulator-ready journey into SFRS I1, first-time adoption, the standard that governs how a company switches to full SFRS I. If you work in audit, consolidation, financial reporting, or plan to join a Big Four firm in Singapore, SFRS I1 is non-negotiable. It controls your opening balance sheet, permissible exemptions, comparative preparation, and the reconciliations regulators scrutinize. Why SFRS I1 matters. Singapore context. SFRS I1 applies when an entity transitions to full SFRS I. Typical triggers: IPO preparation in Singapore, migration from older local GAAP to SFRS I, consolidation into a parent that reports under SFRS I, conversion for MAS reporting or investor-driven reporting needs. MAS, SGX, and audit reviewers focus on transition quality, especially reconciliations and consistent application of exemptions. Core idea: full retrospective application with controlled relief. Main rule: apply SFRS I retrospectively as if it had always been applied, except where SFRS I1 explicitly allows exemptions or imposes mandatory exceptions. Interview anchor: first-time adoption is retrospective, but practical relief exemptions reduce real-world complexity. End. The opening SFRS I balance sheet, the single most important deliverable. The opening SFRS I balance sheet is prepared at the start of the earliest comparative period presented. Example: if first SFRS I financials are 2025 with one comparative year, the opening date is 1st January 2024. This opening balance sheet is the foundation for subsequent measurement, comparatives, disclosures, and all transition reconciliations. Audit teams scrutinize it heavily. End. Mandatory principles: what every adopter must do. You must: 1. Recognize all assets and liabilities required under SFRS I at the transition date. 2. De-recognize items not allowed under SFRS I. 3. Measure items using SFRS I measurement rules: fair value, discounting, impairments, etc. 4. Apply SFRS I consistently across all comparative periods. These are non-negotiable audit requirements. Optional exemptions, the heart of SFRS I1 flexibility. These exemptions reduce cost and complexity. They are elective. Choose and document them clearly. Major ones follow. Business combinations exemption, IFRS 3 relief. You may elect not to restate past business combinations. If you adopt the exemption, keep prior GAAP carrying values for those acquisitions. Treat goodwill at the prior carrying amount, less any impairment required under SFRS I. Retain original classification and measurements for items recognized at acquisition under prior GAAP. Caveat: if you elect to restate any business combination before the transition date, you must restate all subsequent combinations. Many Singapore groups take this exemption for practical reasons. Cumulative Translation Differences Exemption, CTD reset. You can reset cumulative translation differences to 0 at the transition date. This is common for groups with long foreign exchange histories. It prevents massive historical FCT swings from distorting equity going into SFRS I. After the reset, only translation differences arising after transition affect profit or loss and OCI. End. Share-based payments exemption, IFRS 2. You may apply SFRS I2 only to awards granted after the transition date or awards not vested at the transition date. This avoids rebuilding historic fair value models for fully vested legacy grants. Leases exemption, SFRS 16 relief. Measure right-of-use assets either at the PV of the lease liability or as if SFRS 16 had been applied from lease inception. You may use the discount rate at transition date rather than at lease inception. You can avoid retrospective separation of lease components, and short-term and low-value exemptions remain available. This relief substantially reduces workload for companies with large property portfolios. So, stay. Deemed cost, fair value as opening cost. You can elect to use fair value at the transition date as deemed cost for property, plant and equipment, investment property, and in some cases, certain intangible assets. This is commonly used for IPO readiness or to reflect market valuations at transition. Journal, if elected, simplified. Full debit, PP&E, increase to fair value. Credit, retained earnings, or revaluation reserve per election. Decommissioning, ARO, simplified measurement. You may use a simplified approach to measure decommissioning liabilities at transition. Estimate the liability at transition date and use the transition discount rate. Useful in oil and gas, offshore, and utilities. Borrowing costs exemption, IAS 23. You may choose to start capitalizing borrowing costs only from the transition date, avoiding reconstruction of historic capitalization calculations. Investments in subsidiaries, separate financial statements. In separate financial statements, investments can be measured at cost, fair value, or deemed cost at transition date, a helpful election for holding companies with extensive group structures. Mandatory exceptions, what cannot be applied retrospectively. These items are strict and auditors enforce them. Hedge accounting cannot be applied retrospectively. Eligibility is assessed from the transition date forward. Estimates. You must not use hindsight to change past estimates. Only information that was available at the time may be used. Derecognition. Don't reinstate items derecognized under prior GAAP. NCI and consolidation. Apply current SFRS I. Guidance only prospectively as required. Auditors test these areas closely. End. Preparing comparatives. 3 sets of numbers to reconcile. You must deliver 1. Opening SFRS I balance sheet transition date. 2. Comparative period restated under SFRS I. 3. Current period under SFRS I. Common pitfall: inconsistent application of exemptions across periods. Apply exemptions consistently to both opening balances and comparatives. Required reconciliations and disclosures. SFRS I-1 requires clear reconciliations. Equity under prior GAAP. Equity under SFRS at transition date. Equity at comparative year-end under prior GAAP. SFRS I. Profit or loss for the comparative period under prior GAAP. SFRS I. Explain material cash flow differences when relevant. Reconcile and explain each reconciling item, fair value uplifts, financial instrument reclassification, lease opening adjustments. Reversal of goodwill amortization, ECL changes, contract asset liability recognition, and deferred tax consequences. Common Singapore transition adjustments, industry patterns. Banks and financial services, ECL under SFRS I-9. Hedge accounting resets. Property and real estate. Fair value deemed cost. Lease transition adjustments. Holding companies. CTD resets. Remeasurement of investments. Tech and services. Share-based payment restatements. Revenue timing under SFRS I-15. Manufacturing. Inventory costing alignments. PP&E deemed cost elections. TTS-friendly journal entries. Practical narration. Recognize ROU asset at transition. Full debit, right of use asset, credit lease liability, reverse prior goodwill amortization, full debit goodwill, credit retained earnings, recognize ECL under SFRS I-9, full debit retained earnings, credit loss allowance, deemed cost uplift for property, full debit PP&E increase to fair value, credit retained earnings, or revaluation reserve. Numerical example, simple and clear. Old GAAP PP&E carrying value, 1,000 million. Fair value at transition date, 300,000. Entity elects fair value as deemed cost. Increase PP&E by 300,000. Journal, full debit PP&E 300,000. Credit, retained earnings 300,000. Impact, equity increases by 300,000. Future depreciation expense rises. Auditor's perspective, what audit teams test. Auditors will verify election documentation for each exemption, confirm fair values with specialists and check their competence, reconcile opening balances to supporting schedules and source records, test ECL calculations and forward-looking inputs, confirm lease population completeness and correct measurement, ensure estimates were not changed with hindsight, audit deferred tax impacts of all transition adjustments, and review reconciliations for clarity, completeness, and disclosure adequacy. Regulators focus on transparency and consistent application. Most common mistakes and how to avoid them. Failing to reconstruct comparatives properly. Applying exemptions inconsistently. Using hindsight to change estimates. Omitting subsidiaries from the consolidation at transition. Ignoring tax consequences of adjustments. Incomplete lease inventories. Missing OCI effects in reconciliations. Poor documentation of judgments. Avoid these by documenting decisions early, involving specialists, and building robust reconciliation packs. Practical tips for interviews. How to sound senior. Say these lines slowly and confidently. SFRS I-1 is retrospective with optional exemptions. The opening balance sheet is the foundation for everything, comparatives and disclosures. The business combination exemption is the most commonly used relief. You can reset cumulative translation differences to 0 at transition. Lease transition relief allows discount rate and measurement options. Clear reconciliations of equity and profit are mandatory and heavily reviewed by auditors. These lines alone will make you sound structured and experienced. Final wrap, one-paragraph summary. SFRS I-1 requires companies to rebuild their financial statements as if SFRS I had always applied, except where optional exemptions and mandatory exceptions provide relief. The process starts with the opening balance sheet, applies full SFRS I measurement rules retrospectively, leverages practical exemptions for leases, business combinations, deemed cost, share-based payments, and foreign currency, and ends with comprehensive reconciliations of equity and profit. Clear documentation and specialist support are essential. Auditors, MAS, and SGX expect rigorous consistency and transparent disclosures. If you learned something today, subscribe to CandiMentor. We're building the world's best learning hub for accounting, finance, and interviews, and you should be part of it.